Hi, I'm Ann Sullivan of Harp Mastery, and I want to talk to you about a topic that we've been discussing a lot on the Harp Mastery blog recently, and that's about building your curriculum. Now, I'm not really talking about going back to school, but what I am talking about is really planning your practice, not just for a day or for an hour, but making sure that your practice is directed toward developing all the skills that you need to achieve your goals, because practice is about a lot more than just the right notes, right? So what you want to do is be sure that you're not trying to do everything. What you want to do is carefully plan your curriculum. Now, if you haven't checked out the blog posts that I've written about this, go back and search the blog for those last couple of posts on building your curriculum. And by curriculum, I'm not talking about something that's really academic. What I am talking about is something that's just designed and planned to get you where you want to go, so that you're not trying to do everything, but that you're trying to do these specific things that are going to get you where you want to go. Now, so what I'm talking about right now is my own curriculum that I'm planning. I'd like to give you that as an example to show you what I'm talking about and how you can go about doing the same thing for yourself. So here's my curriculum for this next 4 or 5 months. I have a concert coming up on February 14th. It is now the middle of September, so I've got, a little while, but of course, this is the time to get that planned. This is a big concert, and it's pretty much just me, so I really need to be prepared, and there's a lot I need to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is figure out exactly everything that needs to be done so that I can figure out how I'm going to get it all done and when. Because this is your dilemma, right? When a concert's coming up, you have a choice. You can either plan or you can panic. And if you don't plan, I guarantee you're going to panic. You may panic anyway, but if it's just about nerves, that's one thing. If you're panicking because you just didn't have time to get everything done, that's something else entirely. And that's pretty much avoidable. So I am definitely making the choice to plan instead of to panic. So here's how I'm going to do it. First of all, what do I need to do? Well, this is a big concert, as I said, and I'm not only going to be responsible for the playing that I'm doing on the concert, but I'm also going to have some level of responsibility for everything else, for all the tech stuff and all the marketing. I'm not doing that by myself, but I am going to be in some measure responsible for it. So right now I'm going to divide all my tasks into those two categories and look at what needs to be done. So when it comes to the playing part of this concert prep, I have some solo pieces. I will need to learn them all. I will need to be sure they are all memorized. And some of the ones, especially the ones that are new to me, I will want to preview, because I don't want the very first time I play this piece in concert to be at this particular concert. I want to be sure I've given them several trial runs. Now, some of the pieces I'm playing I have played many times, and they don't necessarily need to be previewed, but the new ones I really do want to preview. As I said, I'd like to go into an important concert with some measure of confidence that I've already done this before. So that's my solo pieces. I will have some ensemble pieces. Now, I don't need to memorize those. I will need to learn them, and then I'll need to rehearse them with the other players. And of course, there will be a dress rehearsal. Now, you can see in developing this curriculum, I'm starting with the very biggest things, the playing responsibilities and the non-playing responsibilities, and then I'm getting more specific. I'm still not down to a nitty-gritty level yet, but at least I know I've outlined here what I need to do. So those are my playing responsibilities. Now, here's the everything else. As I said, I'm not responsible for all this all on my own. I'm going to have some meetings with Bill, who is helping me produce the concert. And actually, I'll have a better idea of what I need to do after we get some of these meetings happening. So those meetings will need to be set up, and then I'll have a better idea. But I know that we're going to need to work out some technical details like lights and sound and the staging plan, making sure we've got the equipment, get the programs lined up and printed. We've got some marketing to do, and that'll require a schedule and knowing which media we're going to work on. So some of that I will not have to do, but I want to make sure that it's all covered. So I've started this list here, and it will get more specific after I have some of those meetings. So if I look at everything all together, this is what I've got. I've got the playing part on the left, the non-playing part on the right, and this is how I have to make my curriculum. Now I'm going to decide that the stuff on the right-hand side, the non-playing stuff, that's going to come mostly in the form of tasks. And so I'll schedule those out. They don't actually have to become part of my curriculum. They just need to be done in a timely manner. So I can plan out those tasks. The stuff on the left, as you know, learning any piece of music requires a system and a timeline and getting all that done. So that's where my curriculum is going to center, around that particular phase of the preparation. So let's start working on this calendar. Okay, 2019. The performance will be Valentine's Day, February 14th. The dress rehearsal will be the evening before. So I've decided that I'm going to work backwards a little bit from that dress rehearsal. Say, okay, if that dress rehearsal is the middle of February, then in those first 2 weeks of February, I need to finish my previews. I told you I wanted to do preview performances, right? So anything that I still have scheduled, that needs to be finished up in those first 2 weeks of February. Before that, in January, I want to be sure that I've started the ensemble rehearsals and my solo previews. My ensemble rehearsals will obviously go into February, but I want to be sure that I've started them by January. So January and February will be devoted to taking everything, to that sort of finished level. December, realizing that December is always a really busy month anyway, and I don't have as much time as I'd like to practice, that's going to be the month that I'd like to review things and polish them. I'm not going to do much learning in December. I want to have everything pretty much ready to get to the rehearsal or the preview stage in December. So I'll be preparing for my previews then. All right, so that leaves me what's left of September and October and November. So now I'm going to work forward a little bit. And this is when I'm going to be learning my repertoire. So in September, I'm going to start learning my new solos, the ones that I haven't already played and learned. I'm going to review what I call my ready repertoire, the music that I know pretty well, that I just need to take out and review and, get the rust off and start working on that. So I'm going to review that, start learning my new solos, and start learning the ensemble rep. Now, if I can get all my new solos learned this month, that'd be great, because in October, I'd like to start memorizing half of the new pieces. My ready repertoire is pretty much already memorized. And the new pieces I want to get memorized, I'm going to try to get half of those done in October. And in October also, I'm going to schedule my previews for January and February, so I know when those are going to happen. November, memorize the rest of the new repertoire, review everything else. I keep working, of course, on the ensemble rep. Just to keep reviewing that. And then I should be ready for December. But notice that December is, that review and polish month. So I've really left myself a lot of time in there to make sure that I can catch up, so that if I get behind in October or something takes me a little bit longer than I anticipate at this point, I have a little bit of time to catch up. And also, you can see that I've got my music ready well ahead of time. So I'm not trying to put the finishing touches on just 2 or 3 weeks before the concert. That's important to me. That's part of my avoiding panic and planning. So that's important. Now, this is what I will do for each piece. Sometimes I do it on an index card like this. Sometimes I just make a list. Sometimes I put a Post-it note on the front of the piece. It sort of depends. But for each piece, I'm going to determine what I have to do and when I want to have it done by. Notice I've left spaces to list out my 3 preview dates. If I decide to do 3, I may only do 2. It just depends. And so I've put dates, spaces there to put the dates in. And I've divided my learning into actually 3 stages. Learning it, sort of being able to play it, memorizing it, and then giving it time to settle in. So for each piece, I'm going to say, okay, I want to have it learned by, September 30th, or learned by October 15th, and I want to have it memorized by November 15th, or memorized by Thanksgiving. And, then I want to have it settled in by December 31st, say. And that can be different for every piece, so that I can start settling in a piece much earlier if it's ready for it. My ready repertoire will get to the settle in stage almost right away. It's the new repertoire that's going to need the work. So that's where the specifics will come in. And that's what I'm talking about building a curriculum. It's nothing that's, mysterious or that you need some kind of advanced degree to do. It's just a really careful plan that's going to cover all the bases. If there are specific issues that I'm going to have with some of the pieces, like if there's a particular technique or a particular speed or something else that I'm going to need to bring up to par to get the piece happening, then I will probably write out a little schedule for that too. But my big 3 tasks for each piece are going to be to learn it, to memorize it, and to let it settle in, and then to preview it after that. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And the more specific I am, I have found the better off I am and the better this goes. So that's my personal curriculum. I invite you to stay tuned, because I'm going to be offering a chance on a Facebook Live coming up pretty soon, offering you a chance for you to get my help with your own curriculum plans, so that I can help you figure out what you need to know, what you need to do, and how to flesh out your curriculum for whatever goal you want to do. So I hope this helps you. Feel free to check out those blog posts, leave me some comments, and let's get your curriculum underway. Okay, have a great day. And join me again, harpmastery.com.